Hello and welcome, maybe even welcome back to Anime Overviews. I'm your host, BladesArisen, and today we've got Cyber City Oedo, 808 for you. It's an early Madhouse anime, all hand-drawn, really impressive looking, just overall classic cyberpunk media and classic anime. Here today, we of course have my co-hosts, Wraith and Demon, and we welcome you. Obviously, spoiler warning for the entirety of Cyber City Oedo. It's a pretty short OVA, a little longer than a full-length movie. I would recommend probably watching it in one sitting. That's what we did. You can watch that whole thing in the uncut version. So with the spoiler warning out of the way, there is some adult humor in this podcast, and it is intended for adult audiences. Finally, an epilepsy warning. There may be flashing lights that are unsuitable for those who have epilepsy or similar conditions. Just want to throw that out there. Obviously, that doesn't matter if you're only listening. Thanks again for stopping by, everybody, and let's get into the episode. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to the Anime Overviews fucking podcast, as Brando so eloquently put it last time. We are here again in the sort of unofficial season 2. Format's a little different. Things have changed up slightly. We just got off the heels of a very goofy and also kind of painful pre-show. Okay. So y'all can go watch that if you want. I am BladesArisen, longtime anime reviewer, weeb of over a decade. I'm here and apparently not caffeinated enough.
Matt, I have one question for you.
Okay.
Explosions?
Yes. Explosions. Here with me tonight is my glorious co-host, Demon. Demon, introduce yourself, my friend.
I am Demon. I exist. I watch anime. And then I get depressed because Wraith showed me some depressed pre-show. That was uncalled for.
Go through the particulars.
Well, it was good. It was not. I killed him with a dildo.
That is true.
Okay, critics.
It was almost. You got to admit that it was almost as good. It was almost as good though. You got to admit.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
You won.
There are no rules.
At what cost?
There
what
were
cost?
no rules.
Soul dying.
Crushing
Me
souls of the
crying.
other co-hosts.
Because we actually
man.
fucking watched this shit.
You'll be fine.
Anyway,
And
this.
then the Soul Destroyer Wraith.
Yeah.
Soul Destroyer is a bit harsh, don't you think?
My soul's in
No.
pieces.
No, I don't actually. I don't think it's harsh. I think it's appropriate. I think it is earned.
I believe you have a bias against me.
I
9/11
don't
was
know
chill
how much
compared to what
bias
you
is
did.
involved in that shit. My guy paid me back for every cursed game show I've put him through like 4 times over in a single image. That takes
Tenfold.
talent. Good lord. Oh man. All right. Yeah. This other fucker right here is Wraith, merciless being of soul destruction and waifu peril. He's the third
You
co-host.
play me up to be something awful and evil.
I mean, I didn't claim to not be awful or evil, but I am also not
the light
claiming
that
that you
just
are.
painted me in. Well, to the
I'm
actual audience that wants to hear me say it myself, I'm Wraith. I'm pretty much the normie for the three of us. I am the closest parallel that we will have to the casual watcher. I am achieving a
I edit
state
for a
of
reason.
nirvana. In a few episodes, I will have transcended reality.
In a few episodes, this man will have multiple body pillows, hundreds of dollars of figures, a lot of Blu-rays, and will be
My
broke as
entire
hell.
room is branded with nothing but Hatsune Miku.
And also, he'll probably be disowned by his family. Sorry, Wraith's family.
I'll probably gain rabies. I'll just turn feral.
just turn. He'll enter a feral weeb state. Yeah, that's as good as we're gonna
So,
get. Wraith is as good as we're gonna
find
get without
yourself well.
going and finding an actual normie.
Well, I have an idea of what to expect, so I'm one step ahead at least. So it's fair.
I don't think we're ever gonna find a normie to guest on this, but who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. We're here in the slightly different format here with this pretty slideshow I threw together. And the anime for this episode is by far the most obscure one we've covered so far. We're gonna cover the Cyber City Oedo OVA. It was 3 episodes. They're slightly longer. It's relatively short, so we went ahead and just watched the full thing. Disclaimer right
About
there.
a total 2-hour runtime.
All right. Here we are. We have real slides now. Holy
Real
shit.
slides.
We have actual slides. Slides subject to change, but they at least exist. All right. For all of our audio listeners, overview of the show. Full title, Cyber City Oedo 808. Not sure where the 808 comes from. I'm sure someone could tell us. This is an old Madhouse OVA from 1990. It's about 2 hours long, split into 3 episodes, 1 episode for each protagonist. Nice, handy little format right there. All right, now I get to pronounce some Japanese names. It was directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri. There we go. Assistant director was Morio Asaka. Only one producer, curiously. The only listed producer was Yasutaro Iwase, and then the script for Japanese was written by Akinori Endo, and the English dub script, I'm told there's maybe 2 English dub scripts. The only source I had said the English dub script was written by John Wolskill? Yeah. All right. So there's your basic little codec of information right there. And here's our slide on the director. All right, so director Kawajiri, his famous works include Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust from the year 2000, Ninja Scroll from 1993, the X TV series from 2001, and more obscure but still present here that he had a major hand in directing, just like Oedo, a show called The Cockpit from 1993. You can probably look up most or all of these because they're all old. People tend to just upload them straight to YouTube or wherever. You can probably find them pretty easily.
Go find The Cockpit. I'm a sucker for bullying stuff. I'm a sucker for bullying stuff. I might go watch that.
Cock.
All right. So let's give a brief summary of this show. I'll leave it here for a minute. Let's give a brief summary of the show and we'll roll into the characters after that. So Cyber City Oedo, it's kind of what it sounds like, but more so, I guess is the simplest way to put it, because it's obviously an extremely aggressively cyberpunk anime. It tries to make that clear even from, there we go, even from the cover art. It looks pretty goddamn cyberpunk, and that's very much the idea. It's definitely got a very interesting twist, particularly in the art direction, because holy shit, this is one of the best looking things I've ever seen. It's ridiculously well animated. It's beautiful. It has absolutely spectacular scenery and locales. So like a lot of sort of, I don't know what the budget for this one was, but it definitely had one. like a lot of we'll say well budgeted anime films and OVAs, this one's right up there with them. It's very, very well produced. So for all the normies that don't really care too much about anime as a medium and just want to watch something that's cool as shit, yeah, this is definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
Very watchable, very impressive looking, basically constantly. The director is an interesting fellow. He hasn't directed a ton of things, but what he has directed, I imagine the direction's probably pretty strong. Because this is a pretty well-directed show. It's extremely cyberpunk. It stars 3 ex-criminals that have been brought out of, shall we say, containment from a floating space prison to work as special police agents, basically. And every time they catch a criminal or crack a case, the state will so generously take a little bit off of their life sentences. I think every one of them has beyond life sentence, which is that's definitely something.
I have exact numbers here.
Oh damn! Somebody wrote the numbers down. Holy shit! Okay, go for it.
Our first boy, Sengoku, has a 375-year prison sentence for various armed robbery-related offenses.
Lovely.
Gogal, our boy favorite, has 310 for his various hacking-related crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mention why, but Benton has a 295-year prison sentence.
Yeah. Probably for being an assassin in general badass.
For being
Pretty likely. Gogal's is absolutely because of probably some form of government hacking.
Probably hacking many things, yes.
Lots of government hacking. That's what he does.
Alright, yep. Those are our boys. Each episode of the OVA shifts protagonists from one to the other. All three are present, but there'll be a clear focus and a sort
One
of
gets the shining
main
light.
protagonist in the spotlight. So that's a
Much
really
like a D&D
interesting.
adventure.
That's a really interesting way of adapting this and kind of rolling with this script. I think I like it overall, especially given that it's short. Having a tight-knit cast of protagonists and then giving each of them their own episode, I think was a good move. I think it was a pretty good move.
Just like when you do a D&D campaign, it's good to make sure everyone gets a little bit of spotlight now and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the show looks fantastic. Has three protagonists that each get their own episode. It's only 3 episodes. They're around 45-ish
45 minutes.
It
45
varies.
minutes.
They're not all exactly the same because it's an OVA and it's whatever length they wanted it to be, basically. And that's kind of the gist of it. I like going into that anymore is spoilers, and I have a feeling a whole bunch of listeners are going to tab out of this podcast any second and go watch this shit, since it's just gonna be uploaded to YouTube probably forever because it's super obscure and super old, so it's probably just free. That's how we
know
watch
that
it.
we usually leave our recommendations. I'm jumping the gun here. For you watchers who haven't gone yet, go watch this. You will not regret this.
Go watch it if you want to
What
be
are you waiting for?
unspoiled.
Go already, you lunatics!
Pretty tasty.
Yeah, go watch this if you want to be unspoiled, and then you can come back if you're feeling generous. So let's roll into characters, and then we'll kind of dig into the meat and potatoes after that. So, starting with in order of appearance here, which is not the order I put the slides in, but that doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? Episode 1's protagonist here is Sengoku. I literally, and this is fun, I literally stole this. This is literally a what's it called? It's not called a slide. What's it called? It's a frame from the actual show, just straight up. These frames are only shown for a couple of seconds, but they're perfect for this. So I just went and grabbed the whole thing.
Of course, we can't read the language. We are normies. We only know English. It is a sad day.
Nah, this could be covered in swears. I don't think it is, but it's possible. Oh man. So, how do we want to describe Sengoku here? Because he's the most like thug Yakuza-esque of the 3 for sure.
It's funny because even the Wikipedia page has the most generic, super short description of hot-headed young man.
What?
Yeah,
that's not
accurate.
enough information. They need to be more specific than that. Come on.
No.
High-tempered, hungover, and likes his peace, I guess. As best I can say.
He's like a street kid in recovery, basically.
Effectively, yeah.
Yep. Yup. And he's got that kind of snide, pointed sense of humor that a lot of the thug types typically have, which is interesting. Yeah, he's probably the most normal, the least cyberpunk of the 3, but it works. He fits in with this crowd pretty well overall.
I think before we move on, though, I would like to say though that out of our 3 main characters, he was not our number 1. He was our number 3, unfortunately. However, he is still a very good character. It's just the personality type.
He's the one Demon likes the most, I think.
No, I like him the most.
As for me and you, unfortunately, it did not quite hit the same.
Well, that's just because he has a couple of particular personality quirks that I'm not fond of. Whereas I find the other 2 perfectly fine. That's the only reason why.
But the matter of who you like more, though, will be fun because who knows?
All right, so
Me,
then
Benton was
I
my
gotta
least
hop
favorite, though.
over Benton for a moment. So this is Gogol. They call him Gogul once, which I think was a one-off joke and or mispronunciation that the producers liked and left in. For me, calling him Gogul sounded like an intentional kind of joke in the recording because they didn't take this super seriously. They honestly voice acted this better than they needed to. Oh man. Which if we didn't mention that yet, we'll talk about that more later, I'm sure. But killer dub, absolutely killer dub.
Very great, though.
Killer dub that apparently somehow has its own unique soundtrack that we all liked. So there you go. It's like a 2-for-1 special. It's got a unique
The wonderful
English
thing
version
is,
soundtrack.
if we do want voice actors, I do have the voice actors.
Yeah, we should do voice actors. Yeah, who was Sengoku's voice actor? We'll go in order.
Sengoku was voiced by the man known as Bruce Martin.
Okay, sweet. These are all gonna be old school.
This is a very generic name, and the Wikipedia page links me to a Stuart Milligan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if that's necessarily correct.
Okay. We'll cross-reference Mao in a minute here.
We will have to figure this one out. Cause
Also, I always put the Mao page in the description, so y'all can go dig into this yourselves if you want to really dig into these voice
I'll pull up
actors.
the Mao page. I'm starting with Wikipedia since I already have it open.
Most viewers probably don't really care.
No.
Most viewers are probably gonna go watch the sub. Oh man, even though all three of us are probably gonna tell them to go watch the dub because it's a really good dub that's also often funny. But you can
Go watch both. See which one you like more.
You could. It ain't that long, and you'll probably like it. You could just watch both. I did that for Soul Eater back in the day. I've seen the sub and the dub of Soul Eater.
Ooh. Wait a minute. If this is correct, this is even more fun.
Oh, is it?
Gogal's voice actor is linked as a Sean Justin Barrett, born 4th of May in 1940. Albeit, like I said, this could be incredibly wrong.
I doubt it. Mal's usually right.
Like I said, I'm on Wikipedia. So I will go pull up that list while you talk a little bit about our good boy Gogol.
Yeah. So Gogol is, or I'm gonna say he's overall the most cyberpunk of the three. He's got a visor that replaces his eyes. He's got a lot of like battle scars. He's a big hulking gorilla of a man. He's got a huge like fire red mohawk. He's got a big old duster jacket and like I don't even know what to call it. He's got like a crop top half shirt kind of thing with just roaring six-pack exposed. Dude is looking. He's looking pretty punk. He's looking pretty feral. He's looking very, very cyberpunk protagonist for sure. So props on that. Now they pull a sneaky on you. They pull a sideline on you because, yeah, he's like a S tier cyber criminal, but he's actually the smart guy of the group, and he's the only one that can hack and do really proper cyberpunk like wet work kind of things. That's pretty good. I thought that was an interesting little turn on the script. That the most tough looking of the bunch is also the smart hacker genius type. I like that little play on the script there.
Cross-reference with Mal. This is indeed the same man that I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So this man is actually the correct voice actor for Gogol.
So this is probably one of his later roles. That's interesting.
Absolutely, since he was born in 40.
Nice.
And Cyber City Oedo was filmed all the way in 1990.
Oh, it's a 90s show.
No, he was 50 when he recorded that. Hell of a voice, though.
Yep. Oh yeah, these voice actors did way better of a job than they honestly had to. they killed it pretty good. The main trio especially, as well as most of the.
This man is still alive, by the way. He is currently 85.
You guys can write an 85-year-old, probably retired voice actor fan mail, and I kind of want you to. I kind of want y'all to, if you could figure out where to send it.
He does live in London. Because he's British.
Do it. Send him fan letters. Do it. He'll like that. All right.
Holy shit! I just realized there are other languages listed here. We have Italian, German, and French as well.
Oh yeah, this is a. I suspect this was well liked back in the day when it aired. I suspect. I suspect this sold some DVDs and some VHSs. Let's put it that way. Probably VHS. Oh man. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother looking up when DVDs came out, or it would have been Laserdisc first, I guess. All right, I gotta go up a slide. That's weird. Oh, and I fucked it up. Hold on. Save that for a moment. There we go. All right. Third protagonist is the curveball of the bunch for sure. This is Benton. They all have like thug like street nicknames too, which is interesting. And,
Except for Sengoku, that is just straight up his name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the only one that doesn't have a funny name. Okay,
Like
whatever.
Sengoku.
He's the only one that doesn't have a funny nickname. Gotcha. Anyway, third protagonist is Benton. He looks extremely, I believe we agreed, glam rock era, correct?
In fact, even Wikipedia says he is literally a androgynous bishonen, which bishonens are a real thing. Beautiful young. It's a beautiful youth. That's the literal definition of it. Describes an aesthetic that can be found in disparate areas in East Asia.
All right, sick. They even based it off of real historical like fashion styles of the
and
that's cool.
Androgynous
Right.
having both masculine and feminine characteristics,
Yeah.
while
Yeah, I
also
mean,
still fitting the glam rock.
I'm sticking with glam rock. That's gonna be the
Glam rock,
reference
I think,
most people probably understand.
Glam rock definitely was androgynous for certain.
That's just the vibe. That's just the vibe his whole fit's given off me. To me anyway, that's the vibe.
He gave David Bowie.
Yeah.
For me, it was glam rock Griffith. That's all I could see.
Glam rock Griffith's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's definitely appropriate. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, Benton's got quite a look about him. He's got a very mysterious, sort of distant how would I describe? Like a very like philosophical, like
The philosopher, even.
he's got a very sort of cyberpunk philosopher sort of personality. Is probably a good way to put it. And also very, very cool, collected, level-headed. Gives off really intense assassin vibes pretty much 100% of the screen time. Pretty much 100% of the screen time, giving off those cool professional assassin type vibes. I don't know if that's canon. That's just what I would assume based on skill set and general vibe. It definitely gives off the vibe of an experienced professional, probably a professional killer.
Yeah, every time I see him, I just feel like he's better than everyone, and he fucking knows it. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's like you did say Griffith. Yeah. Yep. Great. Yeah, the Griffith vibes are honestly, that's a fair comparison, I think. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, so we all feel pretty different. I think I actually like Benton the most, only by a little bit. I actually like all three of these protagonists because they're all well written and well acted. So it's like I really don't have much to complain about. I kind of like the unusual vibes and the way that Benton operates in his episode. I think that gives him the edge slightly. And then Gogal's right behind him, and then Son Goku is a little behind, but not much, only by like 5 or 10% for me, just due to some personality quirks that I don't like as much, whereas these two don't have any personality issues going the wrong way. How y'all feeling?
Well, I know who my favorite is. He's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's gone, and he's back.
We all
Yeah.
have fucking opposite opinions. Fucking Sengoku was my favorite. Benton was my least favorite.
This does not surprise me at all.
Oh.
Let's roll into the visuals, which have this cool slide right here that I made.
This right here is the exact aesthetic I was hoping to find when you told me that you're gonna have this whole idea. This was the kind of shit I was looking for and wanted to see.
Well, I did call it cyberpunk as fuck, I believe. So.
Well, still, it's this old 90s. I don't know how you would describe it. You probably know the proper word for it, but 90s animes like this and Evangelion and stuff, they have this very distinct style, obviously with tweaks, but they keep a general format like this.
Colors are a little more faded. Backgrounds are a little more vivid.
I don't want to say it's cell shaded because that's just incorrect.
No,
I don't think it is.
Beautifully.
No, really? Am I actually on the money with it?
I mean, these are animation cells, but I don't know if that makes them cell shaded.
So, some variation.
I'm not an expert in the production of hand-drawn animation, so I couldn't say.
I'm sure someone smarter than us who will watch this will likely know.
A lot of detail, a lot of depth of color. Colors tend to be a little bit more faded, a little more muted depending on the era in the studio. You tend to have a lot of extended shots, like I think all 4 of these that I took screen caps of, where you tend to have more atmosphere, kind of. You tend to have more emphasis on atmosphere and kind of letting the show breathe for sometimes even minutes at a time, depending on the production. It's definitely a very different era than the modern stuff, and it's you can definitely tell immediately. It's just got the vibes are completely different, and in the case of this show, they're really good.
I especially don't want to hear the arguments that people make of, but this looks so flat with some of these. Because look at their skin and look at their outfit. You have the shading, but it's such a flat look to it. No, you don't need everything to look super cool. We're not trying to make this like Tokyo Ghoul or some shit. This is good art style.
Yeah, you do. From this era, you do tend to get cleaner character designs.
The best art. Sometimes the best art is just the simple stuff. Because fret less over making everything look hyper, like realistic and good. The more time you have to pour into the actual plot. And damn, does it fucking show with this.
Oh yeah. This anime, it's crazy because they wanted to kind of keep the pacing consistent through this, which it is pretty well paced. Because the studio wanted to keep things relatively consistent, make this very watchable, very kickback with popcorn kind of OVA. You know, some of these shots, like the top left one there, the top right one there as well, are only present in the show for like a couple seconds. Like it's
even
crazy.
Technically the bottom left doesn't hold that exact one for that long.
None of these shots are.
None of these. They're only a few seconds at best, but they give you so much.
Yeah,
especially the top left.
They're very, exceedingly well drawn and well colored.
And despite that, I said
some of them
keep
only
things simple. This is not even that simple.
No,
they clearly
I would not call this shit simple at all. This is pretty...
You would need to keep it simple if it was longer than a 3-episode OVA.
Yeah.
But still, they put a lot of effort into this.
I've only seen a handful of the classic anime OVAs. I've seen some obscure ones too, just coincidentally, just from digging around. Like I've seen Megami Paradise, which is like a turbo underground, like cult classic anime. Like, there's a good chance I'm gonna be the only guy either of you ever meet who's seen that thing. It's that level of obscure. Like, so I haven't seen enough OVAs to really say for sure, but I tend to like them. Even the ones that aren't nearly as well directed as this, or nearly as well produced, or certainly not as well written, I tend to still like them a lot. And I think the length is part of it. And I've even said so in some of my older written anime reviews. I think the smaller, more digestible like turnaround on each episode of the OVA, like it has the effect of the production being able to put more effort and more money into each frame, and that results in like a way better looking show. This guy knew we were gonna go on a 10-minute rant about the state of the film critic community and shed his braids out while we were doing that, and he came back We still aren't done. That's fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's fucking hilarious.
It is a little bit funny. I cannot watch it.
Holy shit.
So
All right,
just gonna finish it because I don't think I said much. Beautiful fucking scenes. If you bitch and complain about this shit, well, probably shouldn't watch anime. Go fuck yourself. There you go.
Stop watching anime.
No,
Go
I
fuck
agree.
yourself if you think this looks bad.
If you find this art style problematic,
That's pretty based,
you
I'm not gonna
probably
lie.
shouldn't be watching anime because this is some of the most base shit that will exist.
That's a pretty clean cut take. I'm not gonna lie. If you think this looks bad, you probably hate anime, and you should probably stop fucking watching it. Yeah, he's right. He's right. All right, so we have like multiple layers of outline now. All right, gentlemen.
So much better than what we used to.
Let's
do. How
talk
the fuck
about.
are we running on that?
It's not better looking, but it is better formatted.
No, we
I
get
guess.
a better format. We give people an actual thing to fucking look at. My God, how are we doing this shit before?
This is more for us than it is for the viewers. This is for the listener's own sanity. Is why I did this.
Regardless of the fact, this is miles better. Holy shit! You're running on hopes and dreams.
Yep. You can tell about when the caffeine ran out. Oh man. All right, gentlemen. Let's talk about Sengoku's episode, the first of the 3.
Sengoku.
We talked about the visuals. Do we want to?
Let's just talk about the episode.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I think we talked about the visuals plenty. This one in particular has a whole lot of really excessively pretty, like cyan blue cyberpunk urban cityscape from various angles and intensities for a lot of the episode. It's a really great establishing episode, honestly. I'm glad they went with this one first because they could have done these in any order they wanted. I'm glad they went with this one first, just for all that world building and sweet atmosphere that the viewer gets to drink in for like at least probably 10 minutes of the episode or more. It's
at least 10 minutes is pretty accurate.
Like,
yeah.
the more I think about it, the more I realize, holy shit, this is probably one of the most atmospheric things I've ever seen. Like, it's ridiculous.
This will lead to a later point when we are finalizing our summary.
Indeed.
It is as you have guessed.
All right. So we've talked. There's not too much we need to dig into the setting about, is there? Because it's very cyberpunk standard, but in a very faithful and honestly pretty refreshing way. Kind of like how I've only seen the first few episodes, but kind of like how the atmosphere in Edge Runners is. If y'all have seen that, like or like the atmosphere in a lot of the Psychopaths episodes, it's just very genuinely grounded in cyberpunk, and it pulls no punches with that.
If a show were to ever
goes for
scream cyberpunk more, it would probably be the Edge Runners anime.
I don't know if you can scream cyberpunk much more than this, I'm gonna be honest. Oh man.
Yeah, I said if, not that it does.
I mean, Edge Runners is also extremely cyberpunk. But
It's in the name.
This is right up there with it.
This
is right up there with it. Oh man. It's so we've got a lot of really dense, like, hyper urbanization, a lot of grime mixed in with a lot of really beautiful locales. I mean, the freaking police force is desperate enough to hire super criminals as police agents in an effort to try and curb some of this ridiculous fucking crime that you know damn well this city's probably plagued with. It is not near future at all. Anyone remember the year?
Matter of fact,
I want to say it was 28 something, but I could be wrong.
In 2808.
God damn. Well, that's why it's called the 808 anyway. How the fuck did I remember that? My brain hates numbers. Anyway, so it's a
You're on a roll, man. You're on a roll.
It's a fucking show that takes place shortly after the turn of the century. In the year fucking 2808. So it's far future, like, hard cyberpunk. And I'm a fan. Not every viewer is gonna like this because it's the more cool, more aesthetic, more slick, like less gritty, less grounded version of cyberpunk. I think it's very, very genre faithful though. So for those who aren't,
hey, why don't we skip all the like really awful things. It just made it really fucking cool.
Let's just make this look awesome as fuck for 3 OVAs.
Let's make these idiots believe that Cyberpunk is a cool setting and not hit them with a lot of the trauma that comes with it.
Oh man, now it still does that. We'll get there.
Oh, it very much does. It's just that
man.
you don't get bombarded too much.
Yeah. So the setting and plot, especially in this first episode, it's the third as well. The second one not as much, but in the first and third episodes, the setting and the plot are really quite intertwined in a way that I think a Cyberpunk OVAs probably should be. But the setting and plot are very intertwined for this. So
much like the entirety of Cyberpunk as a whole.
Yeah.
The plotline for every show is pretty fucking metal.
Yep. This is no exception. So
both metaphorically and literally.
Does anybody want to take a hard swing at explaining the plot for this? Do you all want me to attempt it?
If Demon explains it, it's going to be, there's some fucking guys, they did some shit, and everyone's dead here.
Pretty close. The plot is criminals go to prison. They get out of it because they got these bombs on their neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first episode has this bitch called Zengoku, drunk as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then he subdues a criminal, and then gets pissed at everything, hungover again, drinks milk,
Mm-hmm.
and does good crime-solving shit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, massive fucking shoulder pads. Can't forget the fucking shoulder pads. Their things are fucking huge.
Vital
Just
to the
huge
aesthetic
shoulders.
of this show.
Just
Essential.
essential. Also, can't forget his blood.
Yes, just a straight up gun.
Gun.
Done. Oh,
I have
man.
And the day saved. Yay!
Yay.
Well, not that. Avoiding spoilers, yes.
Yay!
We can go into it.
That was pretty non-spoilery, it's true. Although, this is Cyberpunk, so saying that he wins the day at all is kind of a spoiler, because that doesn't happen a lot of times.
I mean, he did save.
It's a hard-fought victory.
Demon literally could have ended that up with, and he fucking died a slow, horrible, agonizing death. Thousands died. It was a horrible tragedy, and it left a huge crater of
Adam
destruction and
Smasher
annihilation
worked
in the
through
city.
time to come back into this show just to just completely smush him in the floor. Yeah, that's right, Adam Smasher.
And
You
that
know,
would
the
have
guy
been
that
a
belongs
completely
from, like,
believable Cyberpunk
different-
plotline.
Yeah, Adam Smasher used his Sandev stand so fucking much, he knows how to time warp.
Goddamn.
Yes. And then I also go back in the future, save Rebecca, and kill that son of a bitch with a dildo.
Nice.
Sir John,
I'd read that fanfic.
Sir John saves the day.
I kind of
Who's
want you
Sir
to write
John?
that fanfic now, in
Who's
proper
Sir
Brando
John?
stream of
Who's
consciousness.
Sir John is a penis.
Okay, so continuing the plot discussion, and I'm gonna have to go into a little bit more detail than my co-host here did, just a little bit, just a little. That wasn't quite
think
enough.
that
He got pretty close.
You
He got
You got like 30% of the way. Good job.
now. Don't you patronize BB Demon? He did fine. You
I
only
will
missed
do
a
what I
couple
want.
of key points. He did a good job.
I'm just trying to say not the whole thing, No spoilers.
Except we
I
are
think it's
spoiling.
only spoilers if we say how it's done.
True, I was not going to say how it's done. I was just going to say that the plot of this episode is that there is a gigantic, fuck-off, stupid-looking, ridiculously, comically, brain-rottingly tall skyscraper that the stupid idiots made in Oedo. And the entire bloody giant building gets held hostage. And Sengoku, in his glorious episode, episode 1, his entire job is he has to go figure out what the fuck is happening and try and stop everything from going to shit. And it's great.
There's one other key plot
There are
point that I
multiple
don't know if we
moments of
mentioned.
absolutely fucking fantastic animation. The whole thing is cyberpunk as fuck in every conceivable way, including the premise, and I honestly love it. It's great.
There is a tension factor applied to this, but I don't know if that's considered spoilers. It is shown pretty early in the show.
Well, we're doing spoilers, so go ahead.
There's one element to every one of these episodes, but I think that classifies as spoilers.
You mean the fact how there's always a sick-ass cyberpunk boss fight at the end?
No. I'm talking about the time limitation that's artificially applied to them.
Oh, fuck. How do we not talk about that yet? That's not a spoiler. That's important information.
No, I don't know. It's
The warden. Go ahead, Wraith. You're the one who remembered. Go ahead.
Well, dear viewers, as the compromise for letting these dangerous criminals out, they can't just let them go. No. So the logical thing to do is to strap them with bomb collars. And when they are assigned their task, they are given a time limit by their handler, and he tells them, hey, doing this amount of time, or you fucking explode.
Or you will be exploded and replaced. Yeah, that's cyberpunk
Very
as fuck.
easily.
Yeah, that's cyberpunk
It's
as fuck.
cyberpunk as hell.
And an excellent and very relevant plot detail that my stupid, caffeinated, tired brain apparently forgot. All right.
And this is shown in every single episode.
Yep.
Sometimes even multiple times per se. But
That is-
generally,
it's
just
definitely
once.
part of the plot.
It's generally just once per episode, though.
Oh man.
It is to force them to hurry the fuck up and do their job.
Makes sense, I guess.
We have
Also, we don't know if
motivation.
we don't know if when the timer hits 0, if it actually blows their head off, or if he has to like. The logical thing to do would be that it beeps at him, and then he has to hit the button again to blow their head off. But it might just blow their head off. We don't know. We don't know.
Considering what happens in episode 2, I think it likely would.
Okay, well, the collars exploding was a given. There was no fucking way they'd be able to do this work without those collars that do in fact explode. That was a given. The collars definitely exploded. No one ever doubted that the collars
I
exploded.
guarantee those guys are insane enough to actually make the timer work.
Hasegawa, the prison warden / manager of the special division cyber police,
Actually,
is definitely
it's not
enough.
just that.
Of
He
a,
is
of
the
a
commanding
madman.
officer of the cyber police.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that. He's the warden and also apparently the commanding officer of cyber police. Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it for a minute, yeah, he's right. Lore update. Wraith is right.
Wikipedia literally says that.
All right. Wikipedia's doing work this episode. So, let's just kind of blend these last 2 points all together. Because we talked about the direction a bit already. The show's very atmospheric. It's well directed overall. How do we feel about the pacing?
Honestly, since it's our very first episode, this one needed to be a bit longer than the other 2 episodes, for good reason. Not only do they need to introduce our boy, they need to set up the entire atmosphere for the rest of the show, which is why they take that good third out of it. I'm honestly fine with it because it gives us all the establishment that we need. It lets us have the time to soak it up, actually understand what the hell is going on, and then we can get right to business. So honestly, I didn't have a single pacing issue. I was never like, damn, this shit's dragging on. At best, it's literally during the establishing shots where I was like, okay, we're holding these for a second or two longer than needed, but nah, it's not that. It wasn't that bad. I think it was pretty damn good.
How about you, Demon?
Pacing was pretty good. Little smidge. It was a little smidge. That was it. And it was in between of him hanging over, going into the car to get into the actual police station kind of shit.
Like I said, it's literally the tiny little bits here and there. It's not important enough for me to know.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
still gonna let him talk about it because he remembers
No, it's
it.
incredibly fair.
And also, Demon is very particular to he's very sensitive to a very particular kind of pacing error, and I think the audience probably appreciates that.
It's
So-
very minor.
It's always good to ask him what stuck out to him because it's usually different from what stuck out to me.
Usually, the only things that really bothered me was fucking that little fucking pacing. Otherwise, very good for also 3 fucking episodes. Most fucking anime have problems because they can't get shit done in 12, and they've done it within singular episodes of 3.
Yeah, most shows fail to complete a single arc in their entire 12-run length, and yet we got 3 small arcs that self-contained completed. It's impressive, really.
It's exceedingly well produced, yeah. Exceedingly
And then,
well produced
you know,
OVA.
But someone could probably think, oh, but wouldn't that mean they rush it? No, there's not a lot to break down. It's rather straightforward. So it's really easy to keep the pacing good while still having decent runtime.
See, about that, you mentioned rushing, and that's really funny because I actually have the opposite critique. My episode 1 is really the only one I have any strong film critiques for, you know, just from a technical perspective, and it is actually the pacing in about the first, it's not quite half, I'd say about the first third or so. I do think I like it personally, but some people will find it runs a little slow. It's not egregious.
Absolutely.
It's perfectly watchable. The show definitely takes its time in the first third of this episode, kind of dedicates it to letting the viewer drink in the details, kind of get acclimated to everything, and really sort of positions the entire rest of the OVA really well to just cruise. So in that regard, I actually quite like the direction style they went with, the way they blocked this episode out. But some people will find the first bit to be a little bit slow. That's it. That's my critique. I thought the rest was great.
Yeah. I am honestly a huge fan of it, because the most important part for me is, did you make your damn story good? I can forgive like really stupid animation errors, although I will still critique it.
As you should.
But if your story's shit, you lose me immediately, no matter how good your show looks. The story is the most important part. So the fact I get all this establishment, I get to get myself immersed. Usually, that's how you get me hooked on stuff like that. It's most of the reason why I like to play a lot of the games I do. It's like, okay, the game has a lot of flaws. Does it have a good story? Yeah. Okay, I'll keep going.
Good.
That's genuinely been the rule I always followed, especially when playing games.
Well, and that's, again, you're doing your kind of job in this trio as well, standing in for all the sort of casual. I'm not going to call them normies. I don't think there's a lot of normies in the anime community.
Casual watchers.
I think most of the real weebs would probably accuse normies of being filthy tourists.
Everyone but them is a normie because they know best.
That's a very. Whether I agree with it or not, I'm not sure. I tend to agree more often than not with this take, but that's definitely the standard opinion of the community right now, is that normies are just tourists.
Episode 2.
This one is goddamn, dude. This
was probably my favorite out of them all. Not because it's Gogal, but because this entire episode was metal as shit.
Oh man, this
the other ones were kind of metal. This one absolutely.
This episode transcends cyberpunk and just goes full on balls to the wall.
This is some Yakuza level shit.
This is dope. This is dope pulp science fiction at its absolute most ridiculously well written and presented. This shit was great. I sit through this shit, and all like 4 or 5 or however many, I'm already losing count, already like 4 or 5 times I've seen this OVA. I sit through this episode and I just enter a fucking trance and forget I have a body for 45 minutes. It's great. Oh man.
Honestly, I'm realizing now, I've liked this so much, I might end up making Gogal the new profile picture.
That would be based as fuck. You're probably not going to run into a lot of Gogals on the internet. That would be based as fuck. So let's dig into episode 2, starting with the sort of visuals and setting, because they are a little bit different in this one, aren't they? This one's mostly a daytime episode, first of all. Second of all, this is where we kind of get into Cyber City proper, the kind of approach and format that it likes, because we can't even tell if this is a Gogal episode at first. You can't even tell. It's the screen time is moving from one protagonist to another. You see them all operating as they do in different ways. It really gets you immersed in the narrative and what's happening. And it moves at a nice, clean, medium, not too slow, not too fast-paced, transitions very nicely from one scene to another. It's got more of that sweet Cyber City atmosphere, but not too much. Like nothing feels like it overstays its welcome. If anything, again, this show will linger on certain frames for only a couple of seconds sometimes, even though they're like drop dead gorgeous. This OVA moves. It really consistently moves through its scenes. Not necessarily always taking its time with it, but making sure that the show is exceedingly watchable, and this one is the one that really starts doing that, and that will continue for the remainder of Cyber City. we get the plot established very cleanly, and the show just moves and starts cruising right on into it. We got some weird murders that are happening where dudes are basically getting hamburgered. They're basically getting blown into bits somehow. It's really fucking weird. They find evidence of some weird, unknown, not in their database cyborg or robot that's been walking around, and they just fucking start investigating, and they start finding shit, and everything starts to wind together, and it starts to connect. It's great. It's great. I liked it a lot.
Adam Smash look shy. This augments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, and in a fascinating twist here, the Gogal's episode, he is not really the, what would you say? He's not really out there proactively moving the plot forward like you would expect, which is entirely what happens in episode 1.
He actually doesn't take the reins for a good majority.
No, the script really surprises you with this one from a lot of different angles.
Because for a moment, you almost think Sengoku's getting a second episode.
Yep. But not only that, this has that fucking hardcore science fiction. Like it's a deepest, darkest web of, I don't know, cyberpunk conspiracies, I guess. But that's what it is. It's a deepest, darkest web of light novel conspiracies, only it's the Cyber City version, which is way cooler. But that's what's going on here. There's a whole layered, long-running conspiracy that Gogal gets all wrapped the fuck up in, just basically without warning. And that's when the pace really kicks in and the stakes get really fucking high and a whole bunch of shit happens. It all wraps up with a really sick ass showdown between Gogal and said robot cyborg thing. And now to kind of, with that out of the way, we can start to dig into it a little more and spoil the shit out of it. So,
matter of fact, I think I've just thought of exactly what scene I want to try and pull a picture from. I've been doing some searching, but can't quite find anything at all. Who would have guessed? There's not a lot of images to pull from that exist already, so I'll have to go and do it myself.
Yep. Afraid so. Ah, man, but
fine, I'll do it myself.
This episode has a few like very distinctive, like I guess you'd call them mini arcs that it goes through. All three protagonists are very proactive in this. There's multiple plot lines advancing at once. There's a whole complicated conspiracy involving a whole bunch of bad players and also figures involving the fucking military. Oedo's, I guess it would be future Japan's government or whatever. Future Japan's.
Tokyo, I did find some.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm pretty sure it's Japan that's mentioned somewhere briefly. And it all culminates in this being a super duper layered military conspiracy. That's dope as fuck, first of all, and very cyberpunk, second of all. Third of all, I wasn't expecting them to take this angle. I was just as surprised as Gogal was. Oh man, and this is where an unfortunate but honest trend occurs in the script of Cyber City, because Gogal's lady friend shows up. Their relationship is implied, but we don't know the specifics of it. But they're pretty tight, and she unfortunately tries to fight the military super weapon, and it does not go well. And we have the first heroine death of the show, which I don't know if it hit for you guys like it did for me. Every time I've watched,
loud.
God damn it! Every time I've watched this OVA though, it hits for me. For me, oh my god. Anyway, my guy posting that fucking now legendary Hassan Biker AI meme.
No.
Anyway, holy shit. So, so the military foolishly make Gogal very personally and violently invested in this conflict, which was probably their number one mistake. They take Gogal, and he's gotta be their final test for their goddamn psychic superpower bullshit cyborg from hell. That's what I'm calling it. And it unsurprisingly doesn't go well because he has no special equipment. He has gun. Now, mind you, looks like a decent gun, but it's still gun. Unsurprisingly, guy with gun can only do so much to a super psychic bullshit cyborg. So he gets beat the fuck up. He's bleeding. He's thrown around. He's not having a good time. Cyborg's still working okay. And the boys show up and bail him out of that shit show, and he goes back in, and he lays into that fucker. They brawl some more, and ultimately, through incredible effort, wit, ingenuity, and just sheer unfiltered rage, Gogal fights this thing to the death. And then he gets his glorious fucking payback. And that's how it ends, with him beat up, exhausted, but having achieved his glorious vengeance. I don't know how y'all felt about this shit, but I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic. like I don't know.
No, the reason why
my notes at the end here. Go through the particulars.
Well, it was good. It was not. I killed him with a dildo.
That is true.
Okay, critic.
It was almost. You got to admit that it was almost as good. It was almost as good though. You got to admit.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
Is pretty good. Yeah, I thought of some things I could spoil, but we won't. This podcast isn't about that shit anyway. We're not supposed to go super into the nitty gritty and like analyze each individual little scene, each individual detail, and why we like. We're supposed to talk broad strokes. Somehow it still takes an hour. Edited down an hour somehow.
I'm pretty sure it's been a lot longer than an hour.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna run long, I think, which I don't really care, to be honest. I never really had a set length in mind for these. Around an hour from the sort of intro, the little bit of yapping, the discussing each episode in what I would consider a pretty reasonable amount of detail, and then doing the overviews part of the podcast. It ends up being roughly an hour. And honestly, I've watched all these episodes, obviously, to edit them. I've seen 2 of them just straight up. And I'm honestly satisfied with the length and the pace of this podcast. I think it's fine. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let the podcast breathe. I'm going to let the discussions happen, and we're just going to roll with it. And we're going to have outlines, but we're not going to have no scripts, no bullshit, I don't think. We're not about that here. So how did we feel about episode 2, coming off of episode 1? What were your impressions like?
A lot more fucking action.
Oh yeah.
I like the violence.
They alluded that there was gonna be some Borg fighting. I was like, oh fuck yes. That is exactly the kind of shit I expect from Cyberpunk. It's not Cyberpunk unless there's at least one Borg. Not
only is there a Borg, but there is way more fucking Borg fighting than most people could possibly be prepared for. There is Borg fighting in the skies. There is Borg fighting in the streets. There is Borg fucking fist fighting. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's gritty and violent is fucking. I quite liked it. All right, let's do it. Episode 3.
Let's do it.
So I talked about how episode 2 threw me for a loop with how they wrap Gogal up in this conspiracy intentionally, and how he's not the aggressor, but rather he ends up having to fight for his life and ultimately fight for vengeance in a way that I just did not see coming and was very impressed with. This one takes that.
For being a whole ass criminal, he's got a really strong sense of justice.
Oh yeah.
He's probably one of
it begs the question of
how the hell did he end up doing what he was doing?
Typical way most cyberpunk protagonists end up doing that. Being poor as fuck, being born in a poor as fuck family, being raised on the mean, violent, probably drug-riddled, prostitute-riddled, corpse-riddled, trash-riddled streets of name a science fiction city. That's typically how cyberpunk protagonists end up turning crime. And it sounds bad, but because if you don't thrive in that corpo bullshit environment, which does anybody, let's be honest, then your only other real option to not live a miserable dogshit life is probably some degree of crime. You're gonna have to at least bend the rules, and that's one of the core themes and narrative elements of cyberpunk is a super gray morality. Super duper morally gray, very gritty, very. At least some people won't necessarily think this protagonist is a hero, regardless of where we put them in the script. And good cyberpunk lets that happen. Good cyberpunk lets its characters and its narratives breathe and lets the audience come to their own conclusions, and puts whatever endings and whatever story elements they think are appropriate, regardless of if they think people will find it socially acceptable or likable or heroic or villainous or whatever. Good cyberpunk lets the cyberpunk elements breathe. It lets the cyberpunk do cyberpunk things. It doesn't try to fucking twist and contort the core thematic elements of the cyberpunk setting to fit the script. It does the opposite, and it lets the script really dig into what cyberpunk is all about. And this show really, really does that a lot. It's good. Honestly, the main issue most people who dislike this are gonna have is that they're gonna be like, oh, it's not nearly cyberpunk enough. We wanted even more cyberpunk themes and shit. It's just like, I respectfully disagree, but that's gonna be the main critique.
Look,
the really
man,
hardcore fans you have.
I don't know what more they can ask for.
They're not gonna have as many setting complaints. The really hardcore, old school cyberpunk fans mostly just want everybody to be miserable and die or whatever. Like, I'm massively oversimplifying the tragic elements of cyberpunk, but that's what they're gonna say. They're gonna be like, oh, they shouldn't have won. The ending should always be bittersweet and blah blah blah. Okay, first of all the endings are bittersweet, blah blah blah. Second of all, I don't agree. I don't think all cyberpunk needs to be doom and gloom all the time. Only some of the time, and I quite like the approach this production took for their cyberpunk show. A lot of weebs don't necessarily agree with me on that, and that's fine. There's 3 of us here. There's 3 of us here to talk about this shit. So, episode 3, like if episode 2 is a really good professional grade curveball that totally catches me out by surprise, then episode 3 is some crazy motherfucker loading a bowling ball into a Civil War cannon, setting that shit off, and it just so happens to nail me in the side of the fucking head on the way down.
Yeah, no, it just kept curving.
Like episode 3 doesn't curveball you a mere once or twice. The whole script is a winding, serpentine narrative of unexpected turns, unexpected locales, potentially even some pretty unexpected characters and character motivations, and ultimately the whole thing just catches you off guard in the best of ways and ends up taking you to a place that is super, not just cyberpunk so much, as just going full off the rails, high science fiction.
Would I be wrong in saying that's just Madhouse?
No, you'd be correct. I mean, this is an in-house original narrative production. It's pretty fucking Madhouse. It's pretty fucking Madhouse right here. You can see where their later works get it from. If this is the kind of shit they were making all the time. Oh man,
I love it.
Benton's episode is going to be, most people, especially if they're cruising through this feeling pretty good from the first 2 episodes, they'll like episode 3 quite a bit. They'll be perfectly comfortable and happy in this episode as well. how it's structured a bit differently. Again, the narrative just winds all over the goddamn place. It winds so much it's gonna give some viewers just full on I don't know what to call it, narrative whiplash, because it's gonna lose some people a bit. We
help the whiplash too, for sure.
The thing is, though, I kind of love it though.
Fuck.
So this whole episode is cyberpunk, just high science fiction. Holy fucking shit, vampires! It's awesome. It's seedy. It really unfucking believably moody as shit. It gets into some cyberpunk grit in some of the scenes and some of the locales. The pacing is ridiculously fucking good. It kind of continues more in the episode 2 format in OVA it kind of continues off from OVA 2 with how it approaches the narrative structure and the direction. But this episode's a little bit cleaner, a little bit meaner, and it
actually
stars Benton, who is a very interesting, very, shall we say, competent and incredibly violent character.
Fairly competent to a degree, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my guess is he's probably a professional assassin. I can't think of any professional assassin or professional infiltrator because, good lord.
There's nothing else.
He's very good at what he does, and what he does is investigating and ass kicking, and he's quite good at both. All while having unfathomable amounts of class, unbelievable amounts of class. He's a classy motherfucker.
He's immaculate and on point.
Yep. The man had a vibe, and he made that vibe his motherfucking mission, and I respect it.
And it's funny because at first glance, when I saw him, I was like, "Oh dear, what's
Where
going
is this
on
gonna
here?"
go? Griffith?
I was like, "What the hell is going on here? What is happening?" And then as I got to see more of the character unfold, I was like, "Wait a minute, this is actually fucking baller. What the? Hold on."
Yeah, that's gonna be how most people feel.
Benton is one that grows on you.
Oh yeah. Well, and
maybe you're a sucker for that kind of stuff.
Some people will be.
You know.
Some people will be like, "Wow, that's a very pretty man. Wow, and he's really good at killing things. All right, I'm on board with this."
That's the first. I was like, "Oh dear, this is a style of character I have not seen." And then it turned into, who gives a shit? He's cool.
I think that's part of why I like him. Is just extremely original character writing. Unusually
Sengoku
original.
Being just a dude, you have our all-time favorite boy who is just screams cyberpunk with that fucking visor, and then Benton is the really odd one out, and yet it still works so well. You have 3 amazing contrasts, like all at once.
So anyway, every reasonable person that sees any significant amount of this would agree production values are on point. So for something this well produced, you know damn well they positioned this crazy sci-fi vampire shit where they positioned it specifically because they knew you were roped in. You are ready to go. You're probably very invested by this point in the OVA. You want to see what happens next. You know it's going to be Benton's episode. You know it is. And you're roped in and ready for this shit. And they pull the brakes and they go balls to the wall like Madhouse apparently always fucking has, and they serve up this crazy shit. Respect.
Nothing but respect.
God damn, dude. I'm genuinely, from a production standpoint of all angles, I'm genuinely pretty fucking impressed that they went for it in that way. Where they everything leads up to this 3rd episode, love it or hate it, everything leads up to this 3rd episode to make sure you are good and invested and strapped in, so you get to really watch them cook and make this crazy, winding, I found it very intriguing and well realized episode that ultimately culminates into suddenly we are in future punk Castlevania. Hope you're here for it because it's the finale and we're going for it. We are fucking going for it.
Episode 1 was the feeler. Episode 2 is the hook. This is the sucker punch.
Yep. How it hits is going to depend on the viewer, and how dedicated to cyberpunk they are, or if they're more broadly, like I think all three of us are, pretty big fans of number 1, Japanimation in general, number 2, science fiction in general, number 3, also cyberpunk in general. Like, this was
Japan
made for
took the
that
wackiest
specific viewer. Also, people who like Castlevania will just immediately be enamored.
Which is probably why I liked it.
Oh man.
My whole favorite part of that whole episode was just the viscera of one aspect of the shit.
Oh yeah, it was super incredibly violent and awesome. Oh man.
And you thought episode 2 was violent, hmm?
They did their research. Look that TV trope up, motherfuckers. They did their research because when Benton outsmarts the vampire motherfucker and he locks that motherfucker in the vacuum of space, he gets served the vacuum of motherfucking space, dude. It was something. It was something. Even without context, that particular scene in its entirety should be clipped, even out of context, and shown to animation students and to science fiction, anyone involved in science fiction production, from since this was made until the end of fucking time forever, until the sun explodes, and maybe even after that.
For those of you who are not versed but have also seen films, think of Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm. So it is. I would even go as far as to say an excessively realistic depiction of what would happen to someone if you suddenly sucked them out into the vacuum of space. It was brutal as
Literally,
fuck. It was
Total
metal as
Recall.
fuck. It was incredibly violent, and it was great. I think all three of us loved it.
And it's incredibly Madhouse.
Yeah, incredibly Madhouse. Leave it to Madhouse to make something this violent and well animated.
And to only think that about a decade later, they would be animating for Hellsing.
Believable.
Actually, a bit over a decade.
Believable. Entirely believable.
A show that is nothing but gore and violence.
Yep. You can definitely see where some of the groundwork is laid, where the foundations of the style come from. You can definitely see it. You can definitely see it in this early work of theirs. Oh man. So we have a good idea of how Wraith felt about this because he's a huge fan of Castlevania, especially Symphony of the Night. So obviously he loves it, as previously stated. Demon, how do you feel about this episode, and in particular the twist, the science fiction vampire craziness angle this went for?
I like a lot of the aspects, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more of the vampire and cyberpunky.
Oh, you wanted them to go even farther with it.
No, I wanted to fucking see still like vampire biting fangs. I wanted to see a bunch of fucking syringes and shit.
Oh, you want
That is a fair criticism.
You want the biological monstrosity version. Okay.
They did lean the plot into the DNA aspect of it, but didn't do
This
a
was
whole lot
more
with it.
sparkly fantasy instead of sci-fi.
It's more
kind of,
more like crossover, like the high science fiction, high fantasy crossover type shit you see sometimes. Borderline dungeon punk, in fact.
I wanted more actual cyberpunky shit.
Mm-hmm. You wanted almost like the Terminator, or like the Gungrave, or like the, even to an extent, like the Dead Space angle of things, where it's just organic matter just fucked up and contorted, and there's like lines, and there's drugs pumping this way and that, and shit is fucked, and this is a horror of science. That's more what you were looking for. Yeah.
Because fucking, they also went the fucking romantic route of vampire drinking blood kind of shite.
Yeah, they went very vampire Castlevania, and you wanted them to go more vampire psychopaths. This shit is fucked. Yeah, understandable take. I respect it. Understandable take. Yep. I think this is a fair critique. I think that's a fair critique. All right. So we are all running out of steam. It is very late, but we have done a pretty good, pretty thorough talking about that, gentlemen. You know what that means?
What is a man?
Let's tear this bitch.
It's a bitch.
Let's tear this bitch.
The dice the dice.
Fine. I has the dice, and the dice master says, roll. It is. Me and Wraith are tied, 14. Matt.
Roll again.
What is Matt?
11. I'm just gonna roll them all again. Fuck it. Alright, this time Matt's 11, Wraith 5, I got a 1.
Wow. Same as the intro roll?
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
So I guess RNGesus has determined we get one
Or if you
unique
want
dice
to,
roll per
Matt can be
episode.
last, because he technically the first roll he got dicked. Is me and you.
Matt
That
got
would've
11 twice. That was funny.
There's not a high probability of that.
No, it's pretty low.
But anyway, Wraith, you lose the first.
I will go first.
Yes. I go second,
Okay.
Matt goes last for this one.
I think it very easily goes without saying I'm giving this the entire Supreme category. No contest. Absolutely everything about this show was so damn good. The animation, the direction, the writing, the world building. It gets all marks. Other things I'm marking it for. The eye candy from some of these side characters. They had really fucking good character designs, which, sure, you can call this, oh, the animation. No, I think eye candy is enough of its own because it mentions character designs that, for the little time that we get for some of the women in the show, they are very good. I don't think I have to really argue that one. Literary limbo. Holy shit, my 3-episode OVA is ended. My life is over. You know how I feel?
I feel like shit.
I need more of it. And one other thing that I am going to add to this list. My 6th one I'm slapping onto this year. Actually, pretty much, yeah, 6th one. Unicorn. 2 words, Matt. Cyberpunk Dracula.
Yeah, I did remember, by the way. At some point, I did remember. Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Limping my way through that 3rd episode explanation, I did eventually remember
And for
that.
clarification's sake, to say I chose Eye Candy, Literary Limbo, and Unicorn does not mean that I believe that they fall under those categories of splicing one shot. That is
Well,
just definitively how to describe it.
The entire point is these tags all explain and define different aspects of the production, and also to show the way I've been doing it anyway, which just makes sense to me, is I always give the final recommendation whatever the highest one was.
But yeah, that is my entire list of all 6. The
So
most I think I've
this
applied
is
to a
just-
single shot.
This is just stacked as fuck.
This is incredibly stacked. For anyone that's already watched the 2nd episode, where I already said that I was going to have a really good bias, this has beaten it. Which either says a lot about me or says a lot about the shows we're picking. Or both.
Oh man. All right.
Better is
Demon,
Profo dies. Okay.
take your glorious.
No. I'm gonna give my first one out to script period.
Okay, rewind and try that again, brother.
Script period.
Yee.
It's got like 400 back podcast.
Okay. It behaved just enough to get that script Furion on the board, and now it's doing this shit.
Script period. You don't agree that it is world building.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, calm down, next one.
This is so scuffed.
The cyber police are honing in on his location right now.
They're trying to drag him to Oedo. Either way.
He has way too many lollies in his lolly folder. An illegally large number. They're coming for him. They're coming to take him and his lolly folder away.
Cut this entire fucking section as well.
So next one, actual fucking plot, literary limbo, fucking unicorn before this shit fucking breaks.
Whoa, slow down. We didn't even get the first bit. You were literally dying so much. Just start from the top.
I'm just trying to rush as fast as possible before shit breaks again. Scripts
Just start from
period.
the top, okay?
I have to agree. Fucking good writing and world building. Actual plot is fucking very well written. I'd say literally Limbo because I also want more of this shit, but I don't think we're getting it. I fucking it's one of those Madhouse issues where you just will not get a sequel, or you'll just get bare minimum.
That is true. They don't do a lot of sequels. That is true.
All right, the Unicorn because it does have a lot of uniqueness. Shite. Not allowed to do this good of a job to do the cyberpunk-esque shite. This well, at least.
Alrighty. I get to do it. I'm both excited, but also we all know what's about to happen. Audience, I'm gonna preface this before I even run through these tags at all. I have a confession that I did not make until just now. This may be one of approximately 5 shows that have received a 10 out of 10 from me on my anime list. So not only am I not unbiased, if that wasn't super obvious, this is one of my favorite things that exists. So this is gonna be a particularly funny cheering time from me. So we're gonna start off right out of the gate. Absolute cinema, yeah, no shit, absolutely. Yep. Phenomenal highest level animation and direction. Holy crap, it's one of the best looking things I've ever seen. Kilimanjaro for sure. Scriptspiria, near perfect writing and world building. Honestly, people can disagree with me, I don't care. I'm giving it to it. I really like the way this was written, especially as a 3-episode OVA. I'm a big fan of the way they handled this and the way they wrote the script, the narrative, the twists and turns, the fucking cyberpunk Dracula at the end. I really like it. I really like it. It's absolutely fucking overflowing with atmosphere and personality and grit and violence and merit, and I'm a huge fan. So not only that, eye candy. Yeah, holy shit, the character designs in this show, and even the way they're animated a lot of times. A lot of the equipment, a lot of the weapons, the vehicles, the way things move, the way things explode. Holy shit. Yeah, no kidding. Eye candy for sure. Yeah,
I wonder who
literary limbo,
obvious. Literally Sarah from episode 2.
Obvious and unfortunate. But given that this was a fucking 3-episode, barely movie-length OVA, it was probably inevitable, if it was any kind of good, that it was probably not going to wrap up. Unfortunately. Which it does. To be fair to the show, it does. Every episode does wrap up reasonably well, to be fair. But yeah, we all want more. Everyone wants more. Oh, man. Unicorn, yeah. Episode 3. In general, but especially episode 3, yeah.
Especially episode
And
3.
some of that uniqueness comes from how fucking insanely good it looks, which is a separate tag, but I'll take note of it here as well. Let's see. And finally, as the only one who did this, and I'm going to explain why, yeah, I'm giving a black sheep as well. And the reason for the black sheep is because this shit has like a 7.2 on my anime list, somewhere around there.
Really?
Wait,
that is
7.2?
That is dead
7.2?
fucking average for a mouse score.
What the
That
fuck
is
up?
dead fucking average. This shit is the
No fucking
complete polar, like, to the moon and back opposite of
7.2.
average. And I'm honestly insulted and a bit perturbed by the fact that that's even a thing. This is common, by the way. This is a really
There's
big
literally
problem.
What the fuck?
This
There's
is a
review
really
under
big
it labeled
problem.
mixed feelings,
that,
and they gave it a 6 out of 10.
Well, a 6 out of 10 is still a
This is
positive
a review
score,
from
though.
January of this year.
Oh.
Do I have to remind
I
you
have
all?
a confession. Does that have
Not
a?
recommended. We have a recommended, a mixed feelings, and a not recommended.
It always does that. That's part of the new format.
I got sandwich food by an anime, and it has, what was it, like a 6 or a 7 on Mao? And I got sandwich food. Do
I
not
will
take
look that
Val
up after
scores too
this.
well.
Yeah, by the way, literally, out of these reviews, 25 recommended, 6 mixed feelings, 3 not recommended.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly critically acclaimed. Yeah, as expected.
Oh,
Maybe I should
they
just
bring
start
up
doing
one
that.
very,
Maybe we should
they
just
bring up
start
one
looking
very
at how many
valid
recommended
point.
reviews it has.
They bring the one very valid point. You remember that one thing we said, how the recording could have been a little messed up? Apparently, that strobe effect is actually built into the show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a valid criticism. We're derailing.
I'm not taking away its 10 out of 10 for strobing lights
No.
occasionally, though.
No, I can live with that.
Oh, man. No, but this gets a black sheep from me specifically because apparently, and this is a common thing among all the old school weebs that have seen all this older shit, they're really, really aggressively harsh for some reason. Like, nothing impresses them. I think they might just be all super jaded, sad, anime-hating otaku. Like, I think that might genuinely be the case, and that saddens me. But you see this so much. If it's either really obscure, if it's a really unusual show that takes that's like really out there, or it's adapting an unusual source material, or it's got a crazy art style or whatever. 9 out of 10 times, it's got a middling or even a bad score. And I'm sitting here being like, what the fuck are you guys smoking? This was great. How does...
Don't worry, I'll read off some of these after.
Oh, Lord.
This will be
But-
for the after show.
At least among the old, probably jaded otaku who have seen this, other than us, it's pretty fucking divisive. Surprisingly. Why? Whatever. I'm not going to attempt to figure out what their goddamn problem is. I'm merely pointing out that it's a strange phenomena that happens with classic anime. With classic shows, the scores literally become useless. Throw them out the window, along with that old piece of shit beige brick of a CRT computer that probably broke ages ago. Throw that out the window and throw the mouse scores out the window with it, because they are just entirely fucking unhelpful.
Fenestration.
They're entirely unhelpful and mean nothing. Bro, I watched a thing where I didn't expect it to have like a super good score, but I'm a reasonably experienced, generally pretty level-headed anime critic. I gave that shit like about a 7. And it had like a terrible mouse score. Like, I think it was hovering right around a flat 6. And it's just like, a 6 out of 10 on Mal is like bottom of the garbage can in the sludge. As far as the My Anime List community is concerned.
I'm seeing 2 of these.
Yeah. We'll play a game later. Don't dig around in these old OVAs too much, Wraith, because you might run into one of the cult classic ones I'm going to show you all later. Especially you, Wraith.
I'm not digging into these. So.
But
it's just the reviews for this one in particular.
Oh yeah, you're
I'm looking at
experiencing
these
some
3.
things, I'm sure. Experiencing some things, I'm sure, and most of them are probably not great. Knowing Mal reviews. Before we go too far off the rails, the audience just got to experience that shit fucking live. That was probably funny for them. Anyway. Got to experience the collective horror of my co-hosts when I tell them the mouse score. Oh, man. Anyway, so
live reaction.
I'm gonna clip that and send that to people later. If anyone ever questions why I'm like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of mouse scores overall. I use the site mostly as a reference tool, and not as like a scoring or ranking thing. Like it's like the site really wants you to use it for. Yeah, I don't really do that, and haven't for the. I haven't really taken mouse scores seriously in years, bro. And when people were like, "Oh, why not? You sound like a stupid anime FUD. The mouse scores are fine." I will show them that clip of the collective horror of my co-hosts. That will be my evidence. Oh man, holy shit. Wraith, please outro this bad boy so we can get into the after show.
Okay, let's get started then, shall we? Ladies, gentlemen, germs, insects, bugs, whatever you want to be, we ain't gonna judge you here. Thank you so much for listening to us for God knows how long we've been recording at this point.
Too fucking long.
Yep. Far too long. We thank you for your time, as per usual. And as for the advice, if you somehow listened to us talk about how much we love this damn show and you still haven't gone to watch it, I beg of you, watch it, please.
He is
As
choking
for
up on the
other-
mic even more than he did for Helsing. Holy shit.
As for the other obligatory things, thank you to my co-hosts
Yeah.
for providing even more depth that I can't really quite do. And of course, thank you to Carl Casey at Whitebed Audio for providing the audio for this episode
Yeah.
and all the others.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think I'm supposed to go last, though. Demon, you go ahead.
Who gives a shit?
Let's see. I think we have to petition this shit to be in a fucking museum at this point, because fucking it's a classic piece of art. This
Take a
needs to be
whole
shown.
scroll.
Yes, it needs to be studied. It needs to be put into classrooms, because I know they'll learn more from this shit than they will normal fucking shit they have in the class nowadays. This, good. Good 9.5 for me.
Damn.
It is damn near close, but I'm gonna be honest, it has the madhouse curse of dropping itself and never showing its face again.
Where my
A
full
0.5.
production?
Valid.
0.5 just because I need more and they declined.
That's fair. We'll go on a side tangent on that in a minute. Remind me, I'll bring that up in a minute. We'll discuss that at length.
Alright. And also, don't forget, make sure you eat your bags of pantsus.
Oh my fucking god. Wraith has absolutely no goddamn context for this, but the viewers do.
No.
And that's
Do
really
they?
funny. Yeah. Yeah, they will.
Alright. God.
Yeah, they
You
will.
might be told the context of that in a few minutes.
No, we're not going to tell you the context. You have to wait until the first edited version comes out, and then you get to see it in all its glory.
Oh shit. And they'll entirely forget about it and then accidentally stumble across it and be like, what the fuck?
Be like, what
Oh.
the fuck?
And then you'll rewatch this and be like, "Oh, wow, okay, I remember now." Oh my gosh. Let's just say, for season 2, Demon has gone even more unhinged than before, and leave it at that.
I'm always
Alright.
unhinged. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah,
It's like his
I
entire
said
MO.
even more unhinged. I was not trying to imply that you ever aren't,
That
because
implies that I wasn't as unhinged as I am now. I am still just as unhinged.
You were mentally inhibited.
I just
fine.
usually keep my mouth shut sometimes because I will say some really bad shit. I think
I'll
we had a
accept this
section that was.
explanation.
I had a section where I was reading jokes from a very old, dirty book. How can this get worse than that?
Oh man. I'll just take the L on this one and chalk it up to me not providing the format for Demon to be his true unhinged self. Fine, I'll take the L. I'll
We
take.
were stuck with YouTube, of all things.
Well, we were stuck with the funny little scoring cards that I threw together in like 45 minutes one evening to edit this show, and that was just the thing for the first 5 episodes. Alrighty.
Very strong.
Okay. Glorious audience of ours. I greatly appreciate you sitting through this episode, especially the psychopaths who watched the uncut version, which is going to be several hours long. Holy crap! I'm impressed by your dedication, and I appreciate you all. So this is one of my all-time favorite animes. I'm not gonna lie, when I put this up there in 10 out of 10, when I was just high off the experience of watching this the first time and just in a great fucking mood, and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm gonna change my mind about this. I think this might keep its 10. And I gave it its 10, like months and months ago now, and I've seen this a whole bunch of times since. My opinion, not only on giving this a 10, has not changed; it has strengthened.
I was gonna say, has it further solidified?
It has further solidified. It might as well be carved into concrete. I don't think this is moving ever. No matter how jaded and critical I become, I'm gonna watch this and it's gonna make me feel better, and it's gonna keep its 10. I don't think the 10 is moving anytime soon. Probably
You're
not.
really justifying that cult following that Wikipedia states, man.
Yeah, obviously I recommend this to not literally everyone, but almost everyone. Anyone that likes sci-fi, yeah, watch this. This is a cult classic in the best of ways. Anyone who likes cyberpunk, this is even more of a cult classic in the best of ways. How have you not seen this? Watch it right now.
For all my
goddammit.
fellas who've only watched Edge Runners, hey, I like it.
This is obscure in current era, and I'm quite
Oh,
pleased.
incredibly! This thing
to
is literally
be-
like over 30 years old.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased to be directing all the cyberpunk fans of modernity back to this classic because yeah, they need to see this. If they need to see this, they'll probably be thanking me after they see it. The cyberpunk
Return to
homies,
Monkey.
the cyberpunk homies really need to see this shit. Yeah, this is one of the most well-directed, well-produced, most insanely, ridiculously fucking good-looking things out there. It's also apparently evidence for MAL scores being shit, but we'll set that aside for now. I'm a fucking huge fan of this. This is my newest 10 out of 10. I love it to death. I will probably watch it a shitload more times and lament its lack of sequels, but that's okay. I'll forgive them because they did a really good job. Yeah, all my sci-fi homies, go watch it. All my cyberpunk homies, go watch it, and then watch it again. You can thank me later.
Gain an
Everybody who-
addiction.
Everybody who liked Edge Runners, what are you doing? Get out there.
Come meet the grandfather.
They're jorking it to fucking Rebecca. That's what they're fucking doing.
Okay, stop joking it to Rebecca temporarily to go watch this. All right.
You must stop gooning.
No.
For a few
you cannot
minutes at
stop.
least. Just, I'm not telling
temporary
you to stop
pause.
forever, just long enough to go watch Oedo. Holy
It's a
shit.
temporary
Yeah.
pause to watch Oedo.
My brain has gone to that Flash Gets thing with Akuma. I am going to pull the ale beats out like a room starting. Long.
Oh, man. Oh. Anyways, we all recommend this. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Carl Casey. You're a Chad and a legend, and we all love you for your contributions to the entire indie YouTuber community. I will see y'all in the next episode, assuming that Demon's psychotic tendencies don't scare you away. I mean, you're still here, so probably not.
We hope to see you in future endeavors. Whether it's this
Oh,
show or
well, it's
maybe
lasting.
another psychotic one that we cook up.
Yep.
And maybe we'll even see you in the full-length videos, if you didn't already.
Yeah, y'all are going to be seeing a lot more of Wraith,
Wraith.
because apparently putting a gun to the back of his head, loaded or not, and telling him to watch anime is a really effective way of getting him to watch anime. AKA
The gun
this
is no
podcast.
longer required. I
AKA
have
this
conformed.
podcast.
I
Yeah,
am the
he's-
cattle that the media wants. I am the cattle.
I may have accidentally given him anime Stockholm syndrome. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I think it's more of I have found exactly what I've been looking for.
Took a few episodes, but he found his niche. This is a glorious victory. This is a glorious victory.
Maybe not even just the niche. I think it's just after a few episodes, I've realized that I need to bring anime back in my life. We already knew this is early on, but the more it compounds, the more I realize.
Yee. All right, everyone, we're gonna go into the after show. You know, you'll get to hear that if you watch the full length. You don't have to. It's okay.
I am achieving a
I edit
state
for a
of
reason.
nirvana. In a few episodes, I will have transcended reality.
In a few episodes, this man will have multiple body pillows, hundreds of dollars of figures, a lot of Blu-rays, and will be
My
broke as
entire
hell.
room is branded with nothing but Hatsune Miku.
And also, he'll probably be disowned by his family. Sorry, Wraith's family.
I'll probably gain rabies. I'll just turn feral.
just turn. He'll enter a feral weeb state. Oh man.
Better that than
I can't
some
wait.
other.
I want to see what that fucking looks like. I can't wait. All right. Thank you, audience. Y'all are great. See ya. Bye.
Farewell and take care all.